Hello community, finally we start to talk about how to start with artificial intelligence. It is easy. Instruction fine-tuning, in-context learning, LangChain, stable diffusion, multi-agent function calling, control LoRa, adaptive flash attention, long LoRa, policy adaptation for robotics, quantization, robotics reinforcement learning, DPO, PEFT, self-reg, fine-tuning here, multi-grading, and then chain of thought reasoning, graph of thought reasoning, new quantization, and yes, beautiful. This is it. Wow. So after this disaster, let's focus. What I want to do on this channel, I want to provide value, I want to create a community, and I want that everybody can be authentic. So let's refocus and let's start new. Look at here the hype cycle for AI. Gartner tells us we are at the general peak of inflated expansion. Great. What else? Some days ago, an AI alliance formed with the biggest AI player in the world, and here you have the marketing slogan, shape the evolution of AI in ways that are better reflect the needs and the complexity of our society. They want to have a scientific rigor, trust, safety, security, diversity, and economic competitiveness. And yes, these are the greatest global corporation in AI talking here. And they want that here all the leading developers, the free open source scientists, all the academic institutions work for free. I mean, contribute their ideas, all the other innovators, and they will pool here the resources and the knowledge. And those global corporations will address here the safety concerns while providing a platform for sharing and developing solutions that are great. I will tell you about the alliance, another fact, at the very end of this video. So here we go. There is something strange. Just 10% of organizations launched generative AI solution in 2023, according to Intel. And you might say, hey, why? Okay, who was here? The group. Global survey, 430 AI and machine learning practitioners. Half of the companies were more than 600 employees. So, okay, we get an idea. And the expert warn you that you should not just incorporate generative AI without really assessing how AI can add value to your company. Beautiful. And all those people said, hey, we need to improve our skills. 84% said we need a skill improvement in AI. And 46% say, hey, we see infrastructure, compute infrastructure, as the greatest barrier to develop LLMs into products. Also, lack of knowledge and so on. So here I am with this video, and we are gonna eliminate all the barriers. We provide you the skills and we crush down here, and I show you how easy it is to access computer infrastructure. Great. So here we go. Now that we know how not to start here with AI, let's do the real thing. Somewhere in the cloud, you have an LLM, an AI system that is operational. Let's say you go with Gemini Ultra in the first quarter of 2024. You go with GPT-4 Turbo, you go with Claude 2.1. Whatever system you choose, it is there and you can run inference. This means you can question the system, you get answers, you can have a chatbot functionality, a little bit of a virtual assistant. And with the new GPT-4 update, we have now coming here in 2024 here a little GPT platform, a little here, not an app store, but a GPT store where you can exchange here this little GPTs. Great. This is not what I want to focus on. I want to talk about something else. I want to talk about bring company data into AI system. Your company-specific product portfolios, your company-specific processes, where your company creates value. This is what I'm focusing today. So we design a company-specific AI, as simple as that, to solve company-specific tasks, because companies have growth strategy and the AI must fit those growth strategies and provide value. Done. So if you are coding for a global company, if you code for your own company, if you are a startup, or you code as a freelancer on an hourly basis, it's all the same. It is important that value is only created in an economic ecosystem. And value by AI with artificial intelligence is created in an economic ecosystem. So, you know we have two worlds. The state of AI is divided into the proprietary system like GPT-4, the closed-up system, and the small and beautiful and smart open source large language model, vision language model, and robotic model. Great. So, those closed are the easiest to handle. Why? Because a company like OpenAI offers you a commercial service to fine-tune their GPT-4 Turbo with your company data. Service done, finished, great. If you are, for example, the Bank of America and you say, what is money? I have so much, I don't care. You go to OpenAI and they pre-train even their GPT-4 Turbo model with your company data. So you get here a pre-trained model specific for your company. If not, if you're just the Bank of England, you go there and you let it fine-tune their GPT-4 model with your company data. Great. OpenAI is just one. Microsoft GitHub is another company. They offer a commercial service to fully tune the Copilot Enterprise Edition with your corporate code repos, with your corporate style, with your corporate whatever you need to have integrated into an AI coding system. AWS has a commercial service. You can bring your company data. They will fine-tune their proprietary Amazon Titan AI system with your company data, and you have it. Done. Easy. Now, the beautiful thing is, AWS here as a cloud compute platform also offers you a second commercial service. They will fine-tune open source, the smaller, beautiful, more smarter models here on their cloud infrastructure. Beautiful. All of this, you have to know nothing about coding in Python, PyTorch, or whatsoever. Those what I call no-code services. Easy. If you want to learn a little bit more about AWS Bedrock, the agents, this is the video for you. And for the future of shopping here on Amazon AWS Titan AI, I have this video where I explain and I show you in real time the future shopping experience online. If you go there, you will see Amazon uses here multiple AI systems. From Anthropic, they use the Claude system for the product catalog agent. For stability diffusion, they use here a text-to-image AI system to generate here images of the product. Then they use their own Amazon-specific Titan models, a foundation model, for the inventory management system, and then other agents. So you have multi-AI systems operational. But of course, it's not just AWS, you have Google. And if next quarter, 2024, Gemini Ultra will be, hopefully, maybe, I don't know, available to fine-tune with your corporate data, they also have here an additional service here for aligning your style, your DPO tuning. Great. And they also offer here the fine-tuning of your open source LLM. So bring your own LLM to Google and they will fine-tune it with your data on its Vertex AI, on its Model Garden. Beautiful offerings and make it really easy to fine-tune your corporate AI system. Of course, Microsoft, you have all the possibilities there. You can have now on your Windows machine, Windows 11 machine, that the new Copilot implementation is now updated to OpenAI's GPT-4 Turbo. So this is integrated more or less for free. And in their commercial service, they offer also small language model to fine-tune with your company data like their V2 model. So either you buy a license and you use the corporate proprietary AI system, or you go here with fine-tuning here open source LLMs. You have all the possibilities in the world to create your own company AI system for your task. I want to show you two specific companies, SalesForce and SAP, and they also offer this. And here we have a deep dive, a fine-tuning a little bit more specific. Salesforce has also commercial services. They have a GPT they call Einstein GPT. I have here a video on the CRM management from sales, services, support, and quality improvement by Salesforce for all customers of Salesforce. And I have my own series on business AI here on how an AI twin can simulate here the customer journey if you want to optimize here your financial or distribution data. Great. SAP, I told you, we have there, similar to Salesforce and GPT, we have there Joule. This is SAP's new generative AI assistant. So Joule is integrated into human resources, finance, supply chain, procurement, customer experiences, and you got it. So they use here AI also here, kind of as an AI chatbot here to communicate in natural English language with its clients. Now, December 8, 2023, Jürgen, the CTO of SAP, gives here an insight into their AI development. If you don't know, SAP is the third largest software company in the world by annual revenue. And Jürgen tells us, hey, Joule lives throughout the SAP Enterprise Resource Planning software suite, everything that a business has, plan the workforce, plan the supply chain, manage the supply chain, manage the resources from human to capital alike. So we have here an integration and an example he's giving. They help here with their AI system implementing business processes more efficiently. And the example here is UBS, the biggest private bank in the world. And they say, hey, UBS Group, they post 6 to 10 million job postings a year. And according to Jürgen, they do it here using SAP. And here Joule. And as you can see in the title here, time that the HR department from 2 hours to generate here a job posting is now reduced with the help of Joule to 15 minutes. So if you post 10 million job postings a year, this is great. This is where you see that Joule looks at all the last 20 million job postings, the history, the old patterns, and writes a new job posting based on the old patterns. And you see where you, with your AI expertise and your AI startup, can come in and have a competitive advantage over Joule. Right. Jürgen gives us a very strong position. Jürgen says, listen, in the business-to-business context, we, SAP, we know the industry, we know the company, we know the customers, we know the industry that our customers and our clients are in, and we even know the business context of them. Be it from marketing or research to whatever, we know what kind of documents they need. It all starts with the data. The data which we, SAP, have. If you're in a position, in a dominant position, you have everything from your client, from your customer. You know how they are, you know their financial data, you know the industry, you know their competitor, you know the business context, you know their marketing, you know their staffing, you know their costs, you know their revenues, you know their profit. It starts with the data which we, as SAP, we have it. 87% of the world's goods and transactions are being done by SAP customers. And Jürgen is in a beautiful position. He says, hey, you know what? CIOs and CTOs, we're getting inundated with product offerings from those AI startups. It's like they're being swarming around us, like being swarmed by 1,000 mosquitoes. This gives you an excellent perspective in the wording of Jürgen, how AI startups come to SAP and try to sell them their AI add-on services. And you see exactly how the CTO of SAP sees those startups. Now compare this to if you start now your own AI startup, your own business, or you work for a business that has a business idea to compete here with SAP in their business with their clients. So you are a high-risk AI startup, you have no global customer base, you have no proven track record, you have no guarantee to survive the AI revolution since you have yet to establish a solid revenue stream. Why the hell should any customer buy your product and not SAP product? This gives us a beautiful perspective how you have to focus and optimize your business model, your strategy. Let me tell you more about it. I call it the AI revolution that never happened. As you see, we only have 10% of the global corporations have implemented generative AI solution. Only 10%. Why? I try give you my personal idea. We have one global player in the market. Let's take SAP. This global player is great. This player starts now to integrate bit by bit based on its classical functionalities, like human resources here, extended AI functionalities, or logistic extended AI functionalities. Based on their in-house services and the data they have, they build specific customer solution on AI system. I told you, an AI system in principle is a commodity, is nothing special. The data, the training data that the AI generated, this is what is special. Without the right training data, your AI will not perform well. You need the training data to have a good AI. And this is what here SAP does. It adds slowly, bubble by bubble by bubble by bubble, new AI functionalities, and they're all rolled out to global customers, to all their market players at the same time. This has now an interesting functionality because whenever all market players get the AI functionality all at the same time, there's no competitive advantage for anybody anymore because everybody has it now. So the cost reduction, the speed improvement, the accuracy improvement, and is all now available for everybody. So this gives you another hint where your AI startup may succeed. You have a lot of market player. Currently, 90% of companies, when I say, hey, business-to-business customers, our companies, 90% are simply waiting for the new global SAP version with AI extension. Why should 90% of companies on this globe do their own AI if, let's say, in 1 year or half a year, SAP will bring out a new AI version? They just wait, they trust AI, they trust the AI done by their SAP system, that they have a business relationship for 5-10 years. They know them, they know exactly how to use their products, and they trust that SAP knows what AI functionalities they need in the future. So here is kind of an indication why 90% of the companies wait for the global players to implement AI as a service for them. This puts you in a very difficult position if you want to compete with SAP in their businesses. So think about this twice. So here we have it, a very short overview of how not to start your AI business, how not to make money with AI. And you might say, hey, great that you showed us all this detailed. Do you have, and yeah, this is me here, do you have maybe a more abstract level that we can crack here the code to be successful with AI? Of course. So, summarization. What we have all the global players with their proprietary LLMs, Google, OpenAI, you name it. They have their AI system and they offer commercial service to fine-tune their proprietary LLMs with your company data for your specific company task. As a chatbot to increase your customer experience, to improve your churn rate, whatever you have. This is a service they offer. This means fine-tuning those LLMs with your company data for your task is a commodity. You just have to pay for this. Plus, we have an additional service here, a commercial service. We, those companies, offer here to fine-tune your open source LLMs that you bring with you, with your company data for your task. And here they offer you, hey, you can do the fine-tuning on our cloud compute platform. We even offer you another additional service, an optimization of the models. You want to be faster, flash attention too. You want to have an alignment, we have DPO for specific behavior. You want to have memory optimization for speed improvements, we have scaled LoRa. You want to have, in principle, here a multi-GPU node optimization, we have Hugging Face Accelerate. You do not have enough memory, you want not to pay so much, hey, we offer quantization here of the numerical values for the tensor multiplication. You see, it is already there. it is already that those global corporations, Google, Microsoft, Amazon, AWS, they are in search of a business model. They don't know themselves. Otherwise, they would not offer you their models and open source models. They are experimenting. So you can use this experimental phase. And you know what? Those open source LLM, you don't have to bring them. You don't have to invent them. Hugging Face has, I don't know, thousands and thousands of LLMs. They are over there. They know this. They have a link. So you just go there. You say, hey, Hugging Face model number 4712. This is the model I decided for. Like you choose a car in the color of red and with 4 wheels and 1 engine. It is as simple as this. And even Hugging Face now offers an auto-tune functionality. Hugging Face has a contract with the major cloud infrastructure providers for fine-tuning. So you can even stay on Hugging Face. They do all the scaling, all the connectivity to AWS, to Google, to Microsoft for you. It is really there the opportunity. If you think that your company needs AI to provide additional values to your customer, to your company, there is a simple way out there to do it. Great. Now, sometimes you might ask yourself, hey, how can I avoid becoming a commodity? What is it? Here, bags of rice. Rice, and this rice corn here is identical to the rice corn over there, and this rice corn over here is identical to the rice corn over there. This is a commodity. You sell this in thousands and thousands of tons. What is not a commodity? What is valuable? What is really, really valuable? You can ask a lot of money for something unique, something extraordinary, something beautiful. Yes, you get the idea. Now, what we see in 2024 coming up, these are commodity top consultants, the top 5 consultants on this planet. They will move in and commoditize here the AI models for each industrial sector. What does it mean? McKinsey goes and says, okay, we have here our first client, and I don't know, logistic. And we implement a brand new AI logistic solution. And for the second client in logistic, they say, hey, we already have one. We can update this. For their third client, they say, hey, we have an operational AI logistic operation. We can sell it now to client 3 to client 100,000. So they scale here, and this is where they make their profits, all of them. So beautiful. So you will see here that those companies, those consultants, they see their growth path now in the development of their own AI system for each and every industrial sector. This is their growth, and you can't compete with them. But where can you compete as an AI startup? Where can you make profits? You are brilliant. You are a genius. You are an AI researcher. So you know where to go. Think about just one point, transform architecture here, parameter efficient tuning, low rank adaptation. The mathematics we use there for training a subset here of our pre-trained tensor weight structures, we have a lot of opportunities. We are not just limited to the query projection or to the value projection of our layers. We can go to the MLP layers. We can choose so many different configurations for different models and architectures and tasks. So we have here a specialty in real fast, real high performant models. You can optimize this. These are masterpieces. These are commodities. There's one model to solve for 10,000 logistic companies. This methodology, this mathematics has to work for each and every of those 10,000 companies. Here we can fine-tune it. Beautiful. So yes, I already mentioned it, how to become an AI genius. If you are not already there as a subscriber of this channel, yes. And you might say, this is the model that I built as a genius. Yes, this is it. This is optimized to the extreme for your particular task of your particular company. And you create value with this and not with a classical normal car. Great. So, what is the solution? You know the solution. The right perfect AI training data for the value-adding AI task in your company, in your economic ecosystem, where the training data are in the perfect, optimal, correct format, the data format. So it is not in 2024 the model, the AI model that you use, but your training data for the model, that the model learns on the training data and then performs the job that it has learned on your training data for your company. So whenever you read that the most important thing is now the transformer architecture, the base neural network configuration with the self-attention and flash attention and paged attention and whatever, and this is that generates the intelligence. Well, yeah, to a certain percent, but you know what's really important? The training data. Detailed, task-specific, company-specific, unique training data. They generate value. Beautiful. For Ben, short reminder, you remember, what is our LLM? We have 3 steps, 3 building blocks. We take a pre-trained open source large language model. Since we are not the Bank of America, we take here a small 7 billion to a 34 billion free trainable parameter model. Then we do the fine-tuning of our pre-trained LLM. And we use here the easiest way, an automated way. We use the Hugging Face trainer for the supervised fine-tuning model SFT. Here's it. This runs. Great. Last time, we align now this supervised fine-tune model here to the way we want our system behaves. It is a nice system. It is a polite system. It greets its customer. It says, hey, how can I help you? You give here the training data for the DPO process. You tell the system how you want the system to behave according to your business culture, to your company experience. Great. Now, you know, when we talk about the training data, you need the training data on 3 different levels, the perfect data on 3 different levels. The pre-trained open source LLM, you have to train them on the right data. If your task is to create a French poem, and you have here an open source LLM only trained on English literature, the system will fail and you can have the perfect SFT and DPO. If the foundation is not optimal to the task, the model will crash. So you choose for French literature the perfect pre-trained open source French model with the French data of all the French poetic literature from 500 years ago. And you have a standard methodology. Then you specialized in the 16th century for French poetry. Now we fine-tune it for all the books that were published in the 16th century on the French. Whatever, these are your data level now. So we have now a perfect fine-tuning. And then you want that the system answers here in a particular way, in a particular rhythm, in a particular syllabus, or whatever you have. So you align it with a standard methodology. So you see, data, most important thing, the gold of 2024. Talking about gold, talking about cost, talking about money, you remember? We take a pre-trained LLM because in the cost relation, if this is 100, 80% of the cost is to pre-train an LLM. This is extremely expensive. This is where the system learns to talk English. This is where the system learns to talk French and focus on literature. Fine-tuning, beautiful, 10 to 20% from the cost relation of the complete cost. So if we have a free model here, it is such a breeze, such enjoyment here, just to fine-tune here your LLM with a specific data, and then you have a little DPO alignment that you can do within a day. Great. Of course, never forget, the training data are important. So to extract the training data from your chaos of company data, to clean them, to prepare them, to put them in the right format, to put them in the right time series, whatever you want to do with them, training the data, cleaning the data, preparing the data, this is an expensive task. And as I showed you in my video about the new Noto 7B LLM, this was created by a new company that is specialized on a data platform for LLMs to create the perfect data format, to clean the data. So this is now companies that are popping up, since everybody understands high quality data are essential for a high performance LLM. Great. You want to have concrete examples. Here we are. The best pre-trained open source model I can give you today is the Mistral 7B by Mistral AI, French company. The best fine-tuned here is Sapphire 7B, supervised fine-tuning with a full fine-tuning implementation. And if you want to have the best overall for some specific task aligned with a DPO, we have the Notus 7B. Please notice that the difference between the Sapphire and the Notus is just the quality of the data set for the DPO training. So you see, it's all in the data. Great. If full fine-tuning is too expensive, too memory intense, requires too many GPU nodes in the cloud infrastructure that you hire, that you rent out from Amazon, AWS, or Google, where you need professional GPU nodes with about 640 gigabytes of VRAM, there's a beautiful alternative if you go to small and medium-sized enterprises. If you do have a limited budget, financial budget, parameter-efficient fine-tuning, and here one methodology in particular, low-rank adaptation, is great. And if you even have a more limited budget, you go with a quantization of the numerical precision of the tensor multiplication in the self-attention layers of your neural network. And you have your quantization. This is the perfect way is float 32. Great would be float 16. An optimized, cost-efficient version is brain float 16 by Google, the format. And then you really are hardcore quantizer. You go with integer 8 or integer 4 quantization of your numerical tensor structures. These are the videos if you want to know more about it. Great. In general, I think there's a beautiful trend right now in the small, open source, high-performant model structured architecture, where they tune those models tuned to the user's own data. And those small, open performant models tuned with the user's own data would outperform larger general models, says here the CEO of Stability AI. And says, hey, in the future, we will also release smaller models, and we look forward to democratizing here the generative language models further, because you can run them on simpler machine, on less expensive computer infrastructure. So those smaller, smarter, open models should become available to almost everybody. A beautiful development. But let me be clear. It is not those create your own GPT from OpenAI. Those my GPTs, this is not what I'm talking about. These are just clones of the ChatGPT version. We are talking here about independent large language model that are real open source. Beautiful. Quite a lot of information. Next video, we will talk about the all-important, if we build an AI, our own company-specific AI, we have to connect to company databases where we have all our, our inventory or our human resource data, to a data lake, to a delta lake where we have unstructured data. We have to connect to keyword search engine. We have to connect to vector embedding search engine with our AI. And of course, if we have something, an AI that is more on the robotic side, we have to have input from sensor arrays so that our AI can freely move around in our environment. So this will be the content of one of my next videos. And it is really important that we provide real-time information to our AIs. And they are now, starting about 5-7 days ago, complete new methodologies I would love to show you in the next video. Yeah, said. There is a dark side to AI. And you see here the dark side of AI. And I have to tell you, the potential of AI is frightening, really frightening. And there's this new AI alliance. And as I already told you at the beginning of this video, the marketing slogan of this AI alliance is beautiful. Evolution of AI to better reflect the needs and the complexity of our societies. And as I told you here, the founding members are here global cooperation. And they say, hey, let's work together with the scientists, with all academia, to pool the resources and get all the knowledge from all the independent scientists to address here the new AI development. As an academic researcher, it is essential to consider the ethical implications of our work, particularly in the rapidly evolving field of AI. Now, given the dynamical nature of technological advancement and the diverse interests of stakeholders in this particular AI alliance, one cannot be certain whether all members are committed to exclusively restricting their current and future work purely to the civilian sector. This uncertainty, for me, raises a critical question. Can we ensure that the new AI algorithms and advancement are not inadvertently or deliberately transferred to the non-civilian sectors? Can these considerations, would you as an academic researcher feel comfortable participating in this AI alliance, knowing that there might be a risk of your work being applied in a non-civilian context? As always, you decide.